Um, I don't know who you are, but you've made a big mistake, okay? I'm an Avenger. I've called the other Avengers.
You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?
What?
You're not the one with the hammer.
That's Thor. We get confused a lot. Similar body types. Who are you? And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies from There's No Bully. I'm host Leroy, aka Martin Luther the Kang, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Pimps Don't Cry.
Is pimping ain't easy or is pimping easy? Who knows? Yeah, I want to say good morning to Janelle Monáe and nobody else but Janelle Monáe. So yeah, we're gonna go from that one. Eli, before we started recording, I had a dilemma. I had a real dilemma because I started realizing my fandom started colliding with each other because I had a choice to make. Of course, you know, the NBA All-Star game is on tonight. Well, you probably didn't know that. But also, the Capcom Finals with Street Fighter V was on tonight at the same time. So I had to choose. Which one was I going to watch? See, that's the problem when you have like fandoms going on at the same time, like my sports fans and my nerdom going on at the same time. So you know what I did? I made a choice. This is what I did.
Did your nerd? Are we pulling your nerd card?
No, we're not pulling my nerd card because I made a compromise. So instead of watching what I did, I had the NBA All-Star game on the TV and I had Street Fighter on my iPad. Now, normally I would have had Street Fighter on my TV, but I had to make a choice. I had to choose between fandoms. So I was like, fuck. Because I can't watch NBA on my iPad. I just can't. So I can watch Street Fighter on my iPad. So I had to watch it. And I'm like going back and forth. I'm like, oh shit, you know, but yeah. Why you had to do it at the same time, Capcom? Don't you know there are some NBA fans that play Street Fighter? I may be the only. I can't be the only person. Eli, I can't. You know. But yeah. I'm putting Street Fighter since Street Fighter V. That was the last Capcom Cup they're ever going to do with Street Fighter V. I'm now putting Street Fighter in the banned category. It is now in the cup with Star Wars. You know, Zack Snyder and Will Smith. It's there. So yeah, no more Street Fighter.
Oh really? I'm not allowed to talk about Street Fighter.
You're not allowed to talk about Street Fighter no more. Mortal Kombat, have at it. No more Street Fighter. We're done.
Did something controversial happen?
No. Well, I mean, Street Fighter in itself, if you talk about Street Fighter 5 in itself, is controversial, but nah, we're not going to go for it. I mean, hell, talk about it if you want. Not talking about it anymore. I think I talk about it too much on here, but anyway. Let's move on to the show because we actually got a meaty show. Well, you know what? I got a meaty show. Sorry for y'all. This is going to be a heavy me-centric show because Eli was actually like doing constructive shit this week. You know,
I'm just gonna assist.
He was actually bettering himself this week instead of just doing shit. You know,
I'm just like guide you like this way, that way.
Like that's interesting. Oh shit, you know.
I'll be Ed McMahon. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Andy Richter. Okay, let's go. All right, so first thing,
Gene. No.
Anything. Let's start with some sad shit, man. Let's get the sad shit out the way first. Then we can actually jump into the show because we already know what came to the show. We're gonna get into the Ant-Man review. I saw Ant-Man. Huge spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, click off. Or if you don't give a shit, stay on. I don't care. If you don't care, I don't care. So yeah. But first, let's get into the sad shit. Let's talk about rest in peace to Raquel Welch. Yeah, this has happened. I don't know when this happened. Early this week, sometime this week. I don't know. It happened. Whenever it happened. I mean, she was like 80 something, so it's not like it was, you know.
That was way younger than I thought she was. I thought she was a lot older.
Yes, because man, that's the thing. We all thought she was older than what she was. Honestly, 83 sounds about right. But the thing is, like I said, she's been around since the 60s, like mid 60s. Like I said, one of the things that made her like put her on the map was the poster of 1 million BC. This was on the poster, like the walls of a lot of 13-year-old boys. Now you got to remember, this is pre-internet. So for a lot of 13-year-old boys that got their hands on this poster, this is all they had. That's all I'm gonna say on that. You know, it was tough back then. Wasn't as easy to get your hands on as was back then.
Yeah,
you know?
way before the convenient days of Pornhub.
Exactly.
You spoiled little bastards that I have now.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
had to rummage and find this stuff. So when you got your hands on that poster,
Yes.
you cherished that poster. You know,
For us old motherfuckers, it was like the Fellowship of the Ring, trying to find
right.
trying to find our stroke material.
Right. And Raquel Welch did it. Because like I said, Raquel Welch, let's not beat around the bush. She was a sex symbol. She just was.
And that's
YouTube-
before I was born. Like when I was a kid, I remember she was still hot when I was a kid.
Well, that's the thing. She
Yeah.
was hot for like decades. And that's the thing about sex symbols. Like a lot of our sex symbols stay hot for like maybe a decade. You know, they're like hot for a decade or like a few years and they go. But Raquel Welch was like hot for like decades,
Ever.
like from the 60s like to the 80s. The 80s, she was still hot.
Yeah.
You know, so
Shit, I remember her still being hot in the 90s. That's why I was like,
in the
damn.
90s. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she was like, but she was like MILF hot in the 90s. You know,
Yeah.
she started to get that range, you know.
Well, I
still
thought she
hot,
was
you know.
MILF hot in the 80s when I was a kid. I just like that was a sexier older lady. You know,
Honestly, I maybe I couldn't tell. I just thought she was just hot. I mean, maybe she now that I look back at it, maybe she was like older hot in the 80s, but yeah.
and that's why I was like, she was only like to me, like she was only 80 something when I was like, wow, because I thought she was a lot because like she's been around since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
know.
So she must have just been like really young in the 60s when she was there for hold on, be 80 something. Like I said, what movies did I see her in? The movie that I saw her in was okay. You ever heard of Mother Jugs and Speed?
Yeah.
You heard of Mother Jugs?
Was that
Okay,
with Bill
was
Cosby?
That's the one with Bill Cosby. I know Bill Cosby is in the band panel also, but yeah, we're gonna bring out Bill Cosby. So, like I said, it was a movie with not only Bill Cosby but Harvey Keitel was in it also. So they were like the three. So Bill Cosby was Mother because he was like the head person. Keitel was Speed because he was the person that was like and they were like basically like an ambulance paralink driver. And Raquel Welch was Jugs because of course
Because yeah.
yeah, so you expect that. So that's what she was in the movie. What other movie did I see? Another movie I saw her in. Okay, do you remember the movie Bedazzled? Okay, so everybody remembers the Brendan Fraser Bedazzled movie with him and Elizabeth Hurley or whatever. Everybody remembers that. But what they don't know is that Bedazzled was a remake. It was a 60s remake. It was with Arthur Dudley Moore with him. Arthur Dudley. Dudley Moore played Arthur. He played Arthur. I get it confused, you know. But the thing was, Raquel Welch was in the movie, and she played like lust or sin or something. Anyway, she was hot. That's all you know. She was hot in that movie. So you're sitting there watching, and you're like,
and that was what? Oh, that was the first. That was in the original.
That was the original. She was in that. She played, you know, like lust or something like that. Because you know there was like the 7 sins. He had to go through like the 7 sins or something like that. Awesome movie. Go watch that. Both Bedazzled movies are awesome, you know. So yes, I'm showing my cinephile side on this show. I like that.
I remember seeing her in some Western where.
That's what I was about to say. That Western. She was the lead in the Western. So you could make an argument that Raquel Welch was Hollywood's first female action hero. Because that was like 71 when she was in the movie. It was
I remember she was like some dude taught her how to shoot and she went to go get revenge on somebody.
Yeah, and matter of fact, Quentin Tarantino said that was his inspiration for Kill Bill.
Okay, yeah.
So, because like I said, he's a cinephile also. So of course, you know. So just want to say, I think that's all we can. Oh, one more thing I want to say about Raquel Welch. Okay, so Raquel Welch is her stage name. For those who don't know, she actually has a Bolivian father, so she's actually Hispanic. But of course, you know, she had to downplay that side because, like I said, Hollywood's going to Hollywood. You know, so she can't play because if she plays that type of role, you know, she's going to be stuck within like the feisty Spanish, you know, type player. So she wasn't doing that. So, but later on in the role, she did start coming out more saying that she started to embrace more of a Latina heritage.
Oh, so is her real name like, you know, Rachel Gonzalez or some shit?
It's like Tejada or something like that. I got to Google it, something like that. But it's like Raquel, like Raquel something. Like her last name is like Hispanic or something like that, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I wrote it down, but you know, we don't do research for this show. So yeah. But just let you know that yeah, she is Hispanic, and the older she got, the more she started embracing her role. Like I think I saw one show where it was like Edward James almost was the star, and she was like playing the grandma or some shit. Like it was like nothing but Hispanics on the show, like a Spanish show. So yeah, so it was pretty, but it was like later on, like in the 2000s, like that. So yeah. So yeah, just want to say rest in peace to, you know, Raquel Welch, you know.
Yeah, good journey.
Yeah, what else we got? And another one right before we recorded. Also, this happened today. Want to talk about rest in peace to Richard Belzer. You know, I'll be honest with you, I don't really know that much about Richard Belzer. I do know that he was on Law and Order.
Law and Order, yeah.
But like I said, they had like 150 billion episodes of Law and Order. So don't ask me which episode he was on. I don't know.
He was in Scarface.
I was about to say that. That's the
yeah.
that's the role I know him from, the Scarface. Yes. For those who don't know, he was the comedian in that club that Scarface. And like I said, I've seen
Gets
Scarface.
Shot up by the Rodriguez brothers.
The Diaz brothers.
Oh, the Diaz brothers.
The Diaz brothers, yeah.
Who am I thinking? I'm thinking of Repo Man. The Rodriguez
You're thinking of Repo
brothers.
Man. I used to watch the movie so much, I remember the name of the club.
The Diaz brothers, yeah.
The Diaz brothers, because he got ambushed because he was telling so many jokes, you know, that Tony got distracted. He wasn't paying attention. Plus, he was high on coke and drunk anyway. So yeah, that's another reason why.
That's where they were going. Rush to the yo.
Hey yo. Oh man. So yeah. And yeah, like I said, that's pretty much all I know about Richard Belzer. I don't know that much. Anything else? I know he was a comedian in the 80s. That's all I know. So, yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I hate to say this, I thought he was already dead. I thought he died. Like I thought he died like back in the 90s. I'm serious. I thought he would. I thought I remember hearing something about that. You know.
I remember. Well, no, there was an X-Files up. I used to watch a lot of X-Files, and there was like a crossover episode where Mulder and Scully meet his character from Law and Order.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
geeky shit.
Interesting. So they all exist in the same world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow. Have you heard about the Westfall theory?
No.
We're not going to talk about it this episode. That is too deep. It is too philosophical. We will dig into the Westfall theory in another episode. Just put a pin in that. We'll talk about it later on. Yeah. But
I never even heard of that shit.
Oh, it's deep. It's deep. It's deep. Me and Gomer had had a thread on Facebook one time. It was like 30 comments or some shit like that. We just talk about it all day. So yeah, it is deep. Yeah, but anyway, let's go deeper into it. So now we're gonna talk about I saw a movie.
You did see a movie.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you, Eli, if you saw this movie, I would have been shocked. I'm like, what? You know, if I would have been,
I honestly forgot it was coming out this week.
You know what? I did it on purpose not to remind you.
I was like, oh shit, that's out this weekend.
I'm gonna just live and let live. If Eli get to it, he get to it. If he don't get to it. Whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. Either way, I saw the movie we're gonna talk about is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That's the movie we're gonna talk about. But before we get to that, we are gonna bring back an old classic. So let me throw that up there. Yeah, we're going to talk about Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. I'm going to get into a review, but before we get into it, we're going to get about the hoopla and the hootenanny surrounding this movie. So, Eli, let's get into it. We're going to bring back an old classic. Give it to me. What is the #1 movie of the week?
That Disney movie.
A Disney movie. It may be all the Disney movies. Like the top 10 may be all Disney movies. But anyway,
yeah, because technically Avatar isn't that a Disney movie too?
Avatar is a Disney movie. So let's see. We got Magic Mike is not a Disney movie. So okay, so only the top 2 are Disney movies. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania did in this first weekend 104 million. That is the biggest Ant-Man movie. That is the biggest debut of any Ant-Man movie. The first one did 57. The second one did 75. This did 104. So this is like by far. Not only that, in the first weekend, Ant-Man and the Wasp is already at 357 million. Keep in mind, Black Adam in its entire run did 400. So it almost beat Black Adam in his first weekend. You know.
DC.
So that's just bringing up. But the thing is that there was some discourse before this movie came out because, you know, people, even though the movie did all this number, so the movie is a hit. It's just bottom line. It's a hit. You know, whatever you want to say about it. But before the movie came out, there was some discourse about it. People were upset. People are going to lie because Rotten Tomatoes reared its ugly head again. And we got this. Now, at first, when the movie dropped down, so it's at 47. So it is tied for the lowest score of any MCU movie ever. Eli, what is the movie is tied with? I want to see if you can guess.
I will say, I'm gonna say Captain Marvel.
Nope. There's a movie lower than Captain Marvel.
Love and Thunder.
Nope. Movie lower than Love and Thunder. You probably have already forgotten it.
Dark World.
Nope. Movie lower than Dark World. I'm
three
saying
guesses.
That's 3 guesses. I'm gonna just tell you because I'm pretty sure you have already just deleted this movie out of your mind. If what I said, you'd be like, "Oh, that's a movie." Yeah, Eternals.
Oh yeah, I did not see that.
Exactly. So that and Eternals are the lowest ranked movies in MC on Rotten Tomatoes.
But that had an Oscar-winning director on that. What the fuck?
Exactly. But she won it before she got to Marvel, so that didn't count. But the thing about that is that if you look at the audience score is at 84%. So there's some kind of disconnect going on right there. The audience is saying one thing, the internet and the Rotten Tomatoes saying one thing. So who's right? Who agreed? You know my opinion of it? Nobody's right and everybody's right. Watch the movie, see for yourself. If you like it's cool. If it's not, that's cool also. But that's an easy answer. Everybody says that. That's the play safe, ride the fence answer. What's the real answer? What makes a good movie? I'm going to tell you what makes a good movie. And this goes across the board for any movie. Don't pay attention to the first week.
Titties.
Exactly.
That's
Love titties. Where were we? Any movie with Raquel Welch in it, yeah. There you go.
Titties.
That is a hit movie. That's a hit movie with Raquel Welch. Just stick Raquel Welch in it, you're good. You know. No. My opinion, what makes a good movie and a bad movie, or what makes a widely accepted movie? Not the first week, the second week. Pay attention to how big the drop off is in the second week of a movie. So if it's a good movie,
I thought you were gonna give me some artistic merit, like
no, because that's all subjective. That's all subjective. No, so we can't go by artistic method because it's all subjective.
Shit,
but no, we're just saying second week. Pay attention to the second week. So if people like the movie and they recommend it, they'll send people to the second week. Because you can't go by the first week because it's all hype. It's all new. Everybody want to see the brand new shiny thing. That's nothing. Nobody cares about that. The second week is what matters because second week, even if it's a low ranked movie, if it's a low ranked movie and has a good second week, a lot of times they'll shoot up like anywhere, everywhere, all way at once. Had a better second week than had the first week.
Didn't Venom make like almost $1 billion?
Yeah, but nobody went and saw it the second week. They just saw the first week.
I'm
And
just like, that means that movie's awesome.
Right. No. You can't go by that. You can't. The second week, just the second week. That's how you tell. Everything else is fluff. Everything else is smoke and mirrors. So that's how you pay attention. So just pay attention to what I say. Look at
Leroy. Are you gonna go back and see the new Ant-Man movie next week?
That's what we got to get into. Okay, I will let you know. Because now I'm gonna actually get into the review. Let's just jump into it. Let's talk about.
How about this? Should I go see it this week?
You think Ant-Man is the worst movie of all time, so that's why I knew you weren't going to watch the movie.
I would go see it for Kang. You know, I don't know why Kang is in an Ant-Man movie.
Right, in an Ant-Man movie, that's like, okay.
Like, you'd figured, they'd pull out Fantastic Four or some shit.
Honest answer. I'm gonna give you a straight up answer. Eli, should you go see this movie? No, you shouldn't.
Okay.
There you go.
Why?
Okay.
Maybe I will now.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. That's why we are where we are right now with Rotten Tomatoes. They see this is what happened. They saw the audience score. They saw the Rotten Tomatoes score 40%. So now you got people up in arms. I'm gonna go see the movie for myself, and that's why you got people review bombing the upward waves. That's what they do because they gotta defend Marvel's honor or some shit. Like it's a damn some distress. Like it's not really. But
so if I went and saw it this week and it was shitty, you thought I would blame you for it?
I know you would.
Leroy told me to see this fucking shit.
I've had people blame me for movie before. Man, go see this movie. Man, this movie is awesome. They said
movie sucked. Fuck
this
you,
movie
Leroy.
Sucked. I recommended No Way Home to somebody. Go see No Way Home was open. They said the movie sucked.
What the fuck? Well, they're stupid, whoever they are.
Right. I'm not gonna name names. They know who they are. And then
was
blame
it
me
Gomer?
for it.
Was it Gomer?
It wasn't Gomer. But that's how we get to. We're just like, and then they look at you too. Anytime you recommend something shitty to people, they look at you. Oh, you have shitty taste because you recommended No Way Home. Like really? Okay. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So that's why I know. So I'll recommend a movie, but when I recommend movies, I think about hey, what do I like and what do I think other people will like? So I do compartmentalize. You know,
Okay.
I'm not gonna recommend Sucker Punch to people. You know, so that's
I wouldn't either. And there
Anyway,
were
let's talk-
titties in that movie too.
and then we're right. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's talk about Ant-Man. Okay, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay, so what do I think about this movie? What I think of this movie? So bottom line, this movie, like I said, one reason I think this movie is making so much money just hand over fist because it has two things that pretty much universally everybody loves. First off, Paul Rudd. He's like white people's favorite person.
Is he a movie star?
No, he's not a movie star, but it's Marvel, so it doesn't matter. You know.
I thought it was going to be Return of the Movie Star, man.
No. This is
then
Marvel.
fuck it.
So...
Marvel's killing the movie stars then.
Well, see, I'm glad you said that because Anna Armas, whatever she says Twitter is killing the movie star. So
is she in this movie?
No, she's not.
Okay. Oh, well,
And neither was she advertised. I'm just saying.
I almost saw it then, you know.
And that's the funny thing about like any person that was in the old Ant-Man movies that don't have Ant-Man powers, they're gone. They're not in this movie. So this is like the most un-Ant-Man movie that feels like. This is like completely different movie. So it doesn't even feel like an Ant-Man movie.
So what's his name? What's his Pena? What's that guy's name?
Which one?
The Mexican guy who told the stories and shit.
Not
in
in
the first movie?
At all. Not in at all.
Okay.
I know Michael Pena, but yeah.
Yeah, Michael Pena.
Not in it. T.I. not in it. He's canceled anyway.
Larry Fishburne ain't in it?
Not in it. Nope.
The hell?
And he has ant powers. And not
I was like, what the hell? I thought he was giant. Oh, yeah, okay. Whatever.
So like I said, completely different movie. But anyway, jump into it. Like I said, at the beginning of it, like the chunk of this movie is pretty much like, okay, so you got a lot of people comparing this movie to Star Wars. It's not Star Wars. It's
like which Star Wars?
No,
shitty Star Wars or a good Star?
Just Star Wars. Just Star Wars in general. Just the world, the franchise in general. But the thing is, it's not ripping off Star Wars. It's ripping off the stuff that Star Wars ripped off. So even though it's not Star Wars, it's actually Flash Gordon. It's Buck Rogers. It's John Carter from Mars. That's what they're aiming for. You know, even Avatar to a point, it does feel like Avatar because they're trying to sell you on the quantum realm. They want you to be immersed in the quantum realm. That's what they're going for. But here's the problem. I was not immersed in the quantum realm. The quantum realm just looked like shit. I'm sorry. It did.
Looked like
it
Loki,
just looked like
Loki realm, the Loki realm. And
the thing is, the quantum realm had no personality. Because that's the thing. The movie really wants to sell you on the quantum realm and they want you to believe that the quantum realm had personality, but it had no personality. It just felt like random shit for no random reason. You got robots with bug people, with jello people, and they're flying on caterpillars while the world just looks whatever. Like the world didn't look interesting. That's the thing about it. It looked like any planet on Guardians of the Galaxy has more personality than the quantum realm. And they want to really sell you on the quantum realm. That's why I was just like, nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not into it. And the thing is, like 98% of this movie is CGI. It's all CGI. I'm not saying it's bad looking CGI, but when it's nothing but CGI, you can feel that it's just actors on green screen. Like if you tell me there was anything in here that was actually a real movie set, I wouldn't believe you. I would not believe you on that. Everything feels like CGI in this movie. Like a lot of people compare this movie to Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I can't knock them for it. I mean, it felt like that the whole time. It just felt like
people in 3D.
I did see it. Not only did I see it in 3D, I saw it in D-Box. So when all the weird shit was going down and Ant-Man was growing and shrinking and shit like that, like the seat was rumbling and stuff like that.
Oh, really? It vibrated
yeah.
and it smelled and shit.
Yeah. All this stuff like that, you know.
Squirted
so
shit
it
in
was,
your face.
yeah, it was cool for the first 30 minutes. 2 hours of rocking and all this shit like that. Like, okay, turn this shit off, you know. But I paid money, so I'm gonna keep going with it. So that's my thing about it. So you got this weird Flash Gordon realm, and it's the same story. I'm gonna give you the plot of the story. And people saying the plot was complicated. The plot was not complicated. It's the plot of every sci-fi movie ever. Dude goes to a weird sci-fi weird planet. He teams up with freedom fighters. They have to take down an evil emperor that is talking to them. And of course, you know the evil emperor is the evil conqueror, Kang the Conqueror. So they just got to take down Kang the Conqueror. That's the plot. That's it. People saying it's complicated. That's every sci-fi movie ever.
So Kang was in the quantum realm?
Yes, that's the whole point of it. So the point of it is, okay, so the movie, that's the thing about it. Like Paul Rudd isn't even really, the movie isn't even really about him. The movie is about Michelle Pfeiffer because she was stuck in the quantum realm and basically she tells what she was doing in the quantum realm. What she was doing in the quantum realm is that she was helping Kang build like his weird ass time chair and some shit. But she found out what he was really trying to do. It's like she thought he was a good guy at first. Then she realized he was a piece of shit. So she did, yeah. So she destroyed the thing that makes the time chair, go. And then she was like running away from him for like years and years and years. So when she comes back to the quantum realm, so basically Kang is trapped in the quantum realm. He can't get out. So instead of getting out, he's like, well, fuck it, I'm just conquer the quantum realm. So he just conquers it. So everybody is like under his bidding right now. And when they come back to the quantum realm, like Michelle Pfeiffer and Paul Rudd and Hank Pym and all this stuff like that, he's like, oh, so now y'all can help me build my time machine so I can get out and conquer multiverse.
Okay, so is Kang in this movie, like, has he already been time traveling before this shit?
Yes.
Okay.
It's complicated. Okay. Yes, he has, and he was actually banished to the quantum realm. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm supposed to. Okay, so he was banished to the quantum realm by the Council of Kangs.
Oh, by the count. Oh, okay.
The Council of Kangs. That's spoiler alert. That's the special ending. I don't have a picture of it right now, but I'm gonna see if I can show it right now.
Oh, is that like the after credits or some shit?
The after credit scene? Yeah, it's the Council of Kangs. Let me see if I can see it. Nope, not right there. I'll get to that in a second. You're right here. Yeah. Okay, so they basically recreate sort of that panel in the last credit scene.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically they're saying that this Kang was banished by the Council of Kang because they consider him like the piece of shit Kang that like
Kang.
Shitty Kang. So they just threw him in the time realm to get rid of him. So he's stuck there and he's trying to use, and he need Pym particles to fix his ship so he can get out and kill all the other Kangs. And
the MacGuffin. Okay.
Exactly. That's every movie's got it.
So that's why this is an Ant-Man movie.
That's why it's an Ant-Man movie. Yeah, because because the thing is when Michelle Pfeiffer was down there, she used Pym particles to destroy the engine that she needed. So in order for him to fix the engine, he needs Pym particles to fix it back. So
is this based on any comic book?
No,
at all?
No. Here's the funny thing about it. There is no Ant-Man comic where he goes to a miniature universe and teams up with freedom fighters to conquer to beat an empire. But there is another comic that does that. The Atom.
Oh.
The Atom had a comic back in the 80s where he went to a miniature society and had a team of freedom fighters and fell in love with a princess and conquered the universe and all the shit.
I was going to say like Fantastic Four, like the Negative Zone and Annihilus.
This feels more like a Fantastic Four story than Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like Annihilus and also like that. It feels more like that, but they don't have the rights for them yet. They're still working on it, so they can't do that. So they just do Ant-Man.
They got the rights to Fantastic Four yet?
Well, I mean, they do, but I mean, they still working on that where Ant-Man is up and running, So, but yeah, this feels more like a Fantastic Four story than it does an Ant-Man story because Ant-Man doesn't deal with shit like this, But he's dealing with it. But the thing is, it really isn't a Ant-Man movie. It's an Ant family movie. So it's not like Paul Rudd is just carrying this movie by himself. It's all the Ant people there. Hank Pym's in it as much as him. Michelle Pfeiffer is probably in it more than him. His daughter is in here now. Who else? I'm missing somebody. Wasp is like has less screen time than anybody in the movie, even though the movie is called Ant-Man and Wasp. And I'm wondering, I'm wondering, did they have anything to do with the anti-vax shit she was on?
Yeah.
Because anytime she shows up, she's wearing a mask. She's wearing the Wasp shit. And I'm like, did they fire her or some shit? Like, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder.
Well, they didn't fire Shuri, right? And she was on that shit too.
Well, they couldn't fire Shuri because she's like, the main person in the movie. Meanwhile, Ant-Man and the Wasp ain't the main person in the movie. They just do other people.
I suppose.
So you got all the other Ant people running around and helping out. So it's really like Kang versus the Ant family, not versus Ant-Man. He's pretty much fighting all of them.
Which could have been like the Fantastic Four, basically.
Which could have been the Fantastic Four, right? So that's the because, like I said, because Ant-Man he's too strong for Ant-Man, but they find a way for I'll be honest with you, they make a convincing way for Ant-Man to beat because Ant-Man does beat him at the end,
Okay.
But that makes sense behind
not going up his ass though.
No, but because Kang would have saw that coming, he would have saw a future where he went up in his ass. So yeah. I assume, Oh shoot. So but that's the thing. Like I said, when I was watching the movie, and like I said, the quantum realm didn't give a shit about was checking out freedom fighters. They would like random Jello people and robot people. Didn't give a fuck about them. I didn't care if Kang killed them or not, But and so I was actually checking out of the movie. Then I was like, this movie ain't working for me until your boy showed up, Jonathan Majors. When he showed up, the movie took off. The movie was like, oh, okay, I'm interested. Okay, cool. So he single-handedly saved this movie. He made this movie watchable. Without him, this movie would be like, I can't sit through this shit. I'm
he's
bored.
pretty much the only reason why I would see it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, because when he comes into the movie, he comes to the movie about the second act, and the plot pretty much revolves around him the rest of the time. So the movie gets interesting after that, But before he shows up, it's a slog to get through this movie. It's tough to get through this movie because Bill Murray shows up. He's killed off in like 5 seconds. Nobody gives a fuck. It's just another quick cameo, Paul Rudd is cracking jokes with Jello people. I'm just like, I don't care. They in this weird, Shark Boy and Lava Boy, CGI place, and the movie ain't working. But when Kang shows up, because the thing is, Kang is threatening in an Ant-Man movie. It's like he's in a completely different movie. He completely changes the tone of the movie, like single-handedly. I like it's weird. Yeah, so that's why I was enjoying that. So yes, if you do see the movie, Kang is the only reason to see this movie, but he's worth seeing the movie just for that. So they didn't do him like they did Christian Bale in Love and Thunder, where you got a good actor, but you kind of like sideline him. No, they do him justice in this movie. So
it'll be on Disney in like a month or two. So.
Yeah, you watch it then. So you ain't got to go out and see it. You can wait, but I'm just saying if you do watch it, Kang is enough reason to be enough times for at least one watch, So now, but I wasn't excited for Kang. Kang wasn't the reason I wanted to see this movie. The villain I was excited for was MODOK. That's the reason I want to see the movie. so
I forgot he was in this. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people forget MODOK in this. So MODOK is kind of like Kang's number one henchman or some shit like that. His Starscream. That's pretty much what MODOK is in the movie. For the people who don't know why is MODOK in this movie?
Again, why is MODOK in an Ant-Man?
They just threw him in there. He's just there because in the comics, MODOK is like the head of AIM, the terrorist organization. Mm-hmm. This is not that. They completely retcon or redid MODOK's origin in here. He has nothing to do with that. He's basically that dude from the first movie that got trapped in the quantum realm. He's him.
Okay.
Yellow jacket. He's him. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's MODOK?
He's MODOK. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when he went to the quantum realm, he got all fucked up. Kang rebuilt him and put him in the MODOK. Now, here's the thing about it. Now, a lot of people are trashing the movie because the way MODOK looks. MODOK looks stupid. MODOK looks goofy. MODOK's supposed to look more threatening. MODOK's supposed to look... No. MODOK looks perfect. That's what MODOK's supposed to look like. If you can't make MODOK look threatening. You can't bring MODOK to real life. If you do that, you fail. MODOK is a goofy-looking character. He's always been a goofy-looking character. If you try to make him anything but a goofy-looking character, you have failed. So the fact you made him a goofy-looking character, you succeeded. He's supposed to look stupid. He's supposed to look like Humpty Dumpty. People saying he doesn't look threatening. He's not supposed to. This is what MODOK looked like in his first appearance. That's what MODOK looked like. So you mad because they didn't translate that to live action. They did exactly what they're supposed to do right there. He looked like a big baby head with little legs, And the funny thing about it, like, even though a lot of the humor was like hit and miss in this movie, MODOK was the comedic relief in this movie. Even though he's a villain, he's comic relief. So all the jokes that worked revolved around MODOK because he's a big baby head. So of course, Ant-Man's gonna make fun of him. So that's what I like about that. What else we got? And that's pretty much it. Like I said, the movie worked for me. Kang worked because he was a threatening villain. MODOK worked because he was a stupid villain. Oh, and the third act. Okay. You know what the third act reminded me of? Aquaman.
Oh,
it really, it was like
everything
it was just everything. It was a war. They were like, let's do a war. Now, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't done as well as Aquaman. So like I said, Aquaman came in riding the Kraken. You can't beat that. Sorry, you can't. Ant-Man just came in just Ant-Man and shit, just like roar, like Godzilla and shit, that was about it. So that was cool. But it was a war they was going for at the end. So you had like Kang's forces going against the freedom fighters and fighting all this shit like that, blah, 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 so like that. Like, it's cool, But yeah, yes. And like I said, I already told you this thing is what the Council of Kang showed up, and they showed a quick, I think, clip of Loki 2, like Loki season 2. That's about it. So
what they do to Kang?
Okay, yeah. Let me tell you what they did with Kang. Okay, here's the thing. So Kang, his army got wiped out by the freedom fighters, right? So Kang was like, well, fuck it, I'm just coming down and do it myself. So Kang came down to the battlefield by himself, fucked up everybody, just like wiped out the freedom fighters by himself. I'm like, okay, this shit bad as fuck. So the person who beat him was Hank Pym. Because since they're in the quantum realm and they got all these ants, so ants like little, right? But in the quantum realm, the ants are big. And the ants are like super smart now, so he don't even need to like do like technology to talk to him. He can just talk to him. So while Hank Pym like went off and did his own shit looking for more ants like that, and they fighting Kang and fucked up, he showed up at the very end and like shoved like 1,000,000 ants like at Kang, just like fucked them up. So it was like nothing Kang can do. And so what they did is that they fucked up all Kang's technology. So he just had a regular fist fight with Ant-Man. Because for people that don't know this, don't know anything about Kang, Kang is just a dude. He's just a human. He doesn't have super strength, none of shit like that. He just got technology. So when technology goes away, he's just a dude. So you got Jonathan Majors versus Paul Rudd. You see how that fight goes. He pretty much beat the shit out of Paul Rudd, which that was the most enjoyable part of the movie for me. Just watching Kang just kick the shit out. He was stomping the shit out of Ant-Man. I would laugh my ass off. But then Wasp came in and kind of like helped them out, saved them, and blasted them away. And he fell into his like engine that was gonna do the time shit and disintegrate himself, whatever, dead. He's out of there. Okay. And then they go back to the real world and roll credits. So yeah, that's the movie. So yeah. So that's the thing. So they try to build it up like it's supposed to like turn the multiverse on its head like that. But at the end of the day, this movie is really like a self-contained story. It's really just a one and done story. Like you don't really got to watch anything after that. You ain't got to watch Loki season 2. You ain't got to watch any of the Ant-Man. You just watch this movie by itself and you're fine. All you need to know is that it's a bunch of shrinking people. That's it. So yeah. So that's what I think about the movie. I know people are going crazy over like, oh, it shits on Love and Thunder and also like that because they're prisoners of the moment. The newest thing of anything is always the best thing. What do I think about this movie? It was serviceable. It was okay. I had fun with it. It's fun for the time it was. It wasn't like
better than Black Adam though.
No, I'm glad you said it because I was just about to say that it was not better than Black Adam to me. That's what I'm saying. Now, I know I have an unpopular opinion about that. Other people are going to say, what are you talking about? No, that's what I'm saying. Like, which one I have fun in more? Did I have fun in more Ant-Man, the Black Adam, or Black Adam is better? Do I think this is better than Love and Thunder? Honestly, about what and what. I know other people about, debating and stuff like that, but I didn't hate Love and Thunder. It was fine. I didn't love it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it either.
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was okay. And I think Ant-Man is on the same level as that. It's about that level. Yeah.
What else came? Oh, Black Panther.
Black Panther. Put it better than Black Panther. So yeah. It's Doctor Strange, not better than Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange, yeah.
Not better than that. Yeah. Even though I know a lot of people I know a lot of people hate Doctor Strange. I put it on it's not on the level of Love and Thunder and Ant-Man 3, So like I said, serviceable movie, cool. Only Jonathan Majors single-handedly saved this movie. Otherwise, I would not recommend it at all. Because if he is in it, I would recommend it, as an entertaining watch. If you catch a Tuesday matinee, go for it. Catch a Disney Plus, go for it. You can't lose. But don't expect Endgame. This ain't Ant-Man Endgame. This ain't that. So overall, my score on this movie, 3 out of 5. That's it. Wow. Solid score. So don't hate it. Don't love it. Okay. It's okay. That's it. Because I know the internet is binary. Everything is ones and zeros. It's either the best thing ever, it's the worst thing ever. There is no middle ground. I'm sorry. This is Ant-Man. All the Ant-Man movies are this,
So yeah, that's why you're saying I probably won't.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can't. Like if I wish I could recommend. I wish it was like the movie. Like this, the movie's gonna sell you on Ant-Man. You're like, no, just not that. I can't sell you those false dreams. So it's there. But like I said, you'll watch. You probably be like, yeah, it's okay. I don't think you'll hate this movie. That's all I'm saying. I don't think you'll hate this movie watching.
I mean, I always thought Kang was an okay villain.
This is the best representation of Kang they've had so far. And in my opinion, I don't think Marvel's going to be able to top this version of Kang, even with Jonathan Majors, because I think they're going to try to change up Kang. And since they introduced the Council of Kangs and all this shit like that, that's when Kang starts to get annoying when they start announcing all that shit.
Yeah.
Because the Council of Kangs, yeah, that's, trust me, you think you want
like
that, you don't want that.
Or no, isn't there like an Avenger version of himself or something? Or like when he's younger or something? I can't.
Yeah, he was like Iron Man. Yeah. Yeah, and I get it. People are going crazy over because they love Jonathan Majors and Kang is not a black villain, but he is, but isn't. So that's the thing. I want to get to the whole race changing thing about Kang. Like, is Kang like a race change character? He is, but he isn't. Because the thing is with Kang is that he's a multiversal villain, so he can kind of be anything. Like Kang in the comics at the time was a woman. He He was a woman that seduced one of the Avengers, and that's how he she infiltrated the team, you know. But it was Kang, you know, but they didn't know it was Kang because it was a woman. So you can do all kinds of story with that. So you want to have a Marvel wants to write the story where Jonathan Majors, you know, is in drag, you know, dressed up as a woman, you know, seduces Hulk, you know, to infiltrate the team. They can do that. It's in the comics. Go for it. Have at it.
Oh,
So,
people be so pissed. They'd be great.
that would be. That's why Marvel would do it. Because it would sell. If you say anything about Jonathan Majors making out with the Hulk, then you're sexist and racist. You're the problem.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So that's all I gotta say about that. So yeah, we can move on past that. Stick with Marvel. We're gonna stick with Marvel because there's some other Marvel stuff we're gonna go on before we move on. We want to talk about the Marvels. Did I do it?
Oh,
yeah.
Did they drop a trailer?
They did not drop a trailer.
Oh.
And I'm gonna tell you why they didn't drop a trailer. The reason they didn't drop a trailer is because the movie's actually been pushed back. The movie's been pushed back to November 10th. So at first it was announced for July 6th, but they pushed it back. So I guess they got too much stuff going on in the summer. So they decided to push it back. So yeah.
So Comic-Con, they'll probably drop a trailer.
They'll probably drop a trailer in Comic-Con, set it up for November. So that's what it'll be, you know. If it's gonna be November, I guess they have faith in this movie, like that. I love this poster, to be honest with you. You know, Monica Rambeau, Carol Danvers, and Miss Marvel at the bottom. Like Miss Marvel at the bottom, if you zoom in on her, she's like looking up at them like, you bitches know I can't fly. That's what I feel like she's saying, you know. And so that's why I like the poster. So I'm just ready for the trailer to come out because I know when the trailer comes out, the internet is going to burn itself to the ground.
A shitstorm.
It's going to be a shitstorm. It's going to be just insane. That's why I can't wait. That's why I like, please drop when Ant-Man comes out, but they didn't give it to me. So yeah, don't worry, it's coming. The shitstorm is coming. Oh shit! What else we got to talk about? I think that's it. I'm done. We can move on to the next part of the podcast.
Okay.
I wasn't talking about Street Fighter, but we banned Street Fighter. So yeah.
Oh man.
But shout out to Man RD. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to Man RD. He did win Capcom Cup. It ended while we were recording. I was actually looking while I was reviewing.
Well, I could have talked about Wu-Tang, but I don't want to spoil anything. So.
It's real life, and plus we. Anyway, let me get caught up. It's kind of like when the NWA movie, and they told people at the end Eazy-E died. They're like, hey, spoilers. All right, so yeah, let's move on to the next part of the podcast. Like I said, it's Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about comic books, and we're gonna jump into it. Eli, I've been talking a lot, and I know you don't have a lot of books, but
you told me that you said you had a bunch of books.
I did have a bunch of books, but let me. I gotta take a break, man.
Okay.
I got been talking. Let me drink some water, some shit. You know?
All right. Well, I only read 2 books, so
stretch it out as much as you can.
This is the Leroy show. Well, I'll do the big book, or my big book of the week.
Okay.
Swamp Thing, Green Hell, #2. It's like been over a year since the first one.
You know what? It's on DC Universe. I should have got caught up. I can still get caught up. Yeah,
you still can.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a Black Label book. So it's an Elseworlds story. It's not in, current canon. This is Jeff Lemire and Doug Mahnke. I don't know how to spell it.
Monk,
maybe.
Mank.
I heard he got sick, and I guess that's why it was delayed so long.
Okay.
So yeah. But this is like I said, it's an Elseworld story. It's basically it's a future world where the Earth is covered in water. It's water world. Climate change flooded the Earth. The last remaining remnants of humanity are like scattered on these islands.
So this is not in continuity.
No. It's some future Elseworld. And the green, the rot, and the red basically said, okay, we should start the world over. Let's get rid of the rest of the humans and just start the world over. So they come up with an avatar to get rid of humanity, some monster to start killing all the people. And then going off the first issue, this is the first issue I'm talking about. A couple of survivors, this old man and his granddaughter, they go find Constantine. Constantine resurrects Alec Holland. Alec Holland has been dead.
Right.
So he resurrects him, says, hey, you need to fight back. We need you. We need a Swamp Thing to fight this monster. you know. Of course, Alec Holland's like, fuck you, you asshole. I was at peace. He hates Constantine, you know, all that shit. So no, we need you. So that brings us to this issue. Alec Swamp Thing starts fighting this monster and shit. He's getting fucked up. At one point, he travels into the green and talks to the Parliament in the trees, and says,
Alec
"Yo,
Holland? Okay,
yeah." He's like, "Yo, what the hell? We got to stop this. We got to save humanity." And the trees are like, "Nah, man, fuck humanity. They fucked up the earth. They threw everything off balance. We need to get rid of them." And Alec Holland, but there's children. There's children. You're going to kill a bunch of innocent children. You know, so, they're like, "Nope, we don't care. You know, we've all decided. The red, the green, the rot. We all decided this has to happen. And you should know that this, you know, you being a Swamp Thing should understand this. You know."
But Alec Holland isn't the Swamp Thing though.
Well, he's back again. Basically, you know how the things work. You know how nature works. You know, you should understand that things come in cycles, all that philosophical Swamp Thing, metaphysical shit. You know what I mean? You should know, you know, but Alec is like, no, we should save humanity, and I'm gonna fight you if you don't. If you don't stop what you're doing, I'm gonna fight you. And the Parliament trees are okay. If you're not with us, then fuck you. We're stripping you of your powers. So you're no longer an avatar of the green. You got no more powers. That's your last body. So Swamp Thing is just that's it. If he dies, he dies. You know, he doesn't have the power of the green anymore, and then he has to fight these monsters. So Constantine meets up with, like, does his astral plane shit, meets up with Deadman and says, "Oh, we got to go get her. You know, we got to go help Swamp Thing."
Get who?
Get who? Yes.
Okay.
I was thinking it was going to be Zatanna.
I was thinking Abby Arcane or something, but yeah.
No, Abby Arcane and his daughter are in some spirit realm. So that was the deal he made with the Parliament of Trees. Alec Holland dies, and then their souls, Abby and his daughter's soul, went to that wherever part of the green. Like Alec Holland was able to stay with the souls of Abby and his daughter. So that's where they are. So it ain't Abby. I thought it was gonna be Zatanna, but no, it's Maxine, Animal Man's daughter.
Oh, that's a deep cut. Okay,
yeah.
But she's part of the red, isn't she?
She's the avatar of the red. Yeah. So
yeah, okay.
If this calls, because Jeff Lemire wrote Animal Man back like a while back. So I think that's what this is continuing. Because
anybody decides to pick up this book, if you have any questions, please message us. We will let you, because it's green, gray, red, blue shit. It's deep.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, Swamp Thing is, there's these life force, or what do you want to call it? It's they're realms. It's like what controls life. Like the green controls plant life, the red controls like animal life, like blood.
Like blood, yeah.
Yeah, and the rot controls the dead things, and they all live in balance. Like everything feeds off each other.
Like decaying things, like fungus, mushrooms.
Yeah. Like when something dies, their bodies break down and decay, which fungus and you know,
and it
cells.
all have to maintain a balance.
Yeah, and then it feeds the green, it feeds the rot, or the rot feeds the green, which then feeds the red. It's a circle of life. It's a deep philosophical.
And one can't be more powerful than the other, where it throws off the balance.
Yes, there's a really cool crossover event that happened a while with. It was like where the rot, where Alan Arcane. Is that his name? No. Anton Arcane. Yeah. Anton Arcane became the controlled the red or the rot, and he took over the world, and Animal Man and Swamp Thing.
That was shit. What was Frankenstein too? Rot World.
Frankenstein.
Rot World.
Yes.
Rot World. That's what it is.
Yeah, Rot World. So
let's start right there. Okay, everybody, we highly recommend Rot World. Please read Rot World. That was an awesome crossover. Yeah.
Frankenstein, Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
James Gunn is doing Creature Commandos in this new and he's doing Swamp Thing. I wonder if that's where he's going to borrow from.
I don't think he's smart enough to do it. I'm sorry. I see what you're saying because all the pieces there. All the pieces there. You know.
Yeah. So there's a crossover event where Animal Man, and Swamp Thing basically join forces to fight off Alan.
Poison Ivy joins too. Poison Ivy joins too because she taps to the green also. So yeah. Yeah,
and they all fight because the rot took over the world and turned everybody into rotten zombie monster things. It's actually a pretty cool event. But anyways, Animal Man has a daughter named Maxine. She was supposed to be an avatar of the Red. And that's who Constantine meets at the end of this book. Animal Man's daughter. So the Red is going to get involved. Actually they are involved. So I don't know. Did she become, I think she gave up being the avatar of the Red.
I don't think it's that simple though. You just can't say I quit.
But in that Animal Man run, see, Jeff Lemire wrote the Animal Man run, and I think that's where it ended with her not being the avatar. I don't know. I have to reread that shit. But weird is fucking Grant Morrison's Animal Man. That shit's weird as fuck.
Right. They want to go piece of it.
Yes, Fat T's the house.
Swamp Thing's some of the best comics you'll ever read. It just is.
Yeah.
Especially that Alamo run, awesome. Jeff Lemire run, awesome. It's
Scott Snyder's
run. It makes you. Swamp Thing will fuck your head up. They really will.
Yeah. Swamp Thing's cool. Yeah. But yeah, that's what happens at the end. So yeah, Swamp Thing is in his he doesn't have the access to the green anymore. He's in his last body, so if he dies, he's dead.
Because before he could just like multiply and
he could he could like a plant. He just and if he dies, he doesn't go back to the green where his wife and daughter are. So that's fun. So that's going on. And now Constantine, Deadman, have found Maxine, Animal Man's daughter. So that's where it ended. So I thought this was awesome. I thought the first issue was dope, and it sucked that I had to wait a year for the second issue. But I'm glad it came out, and it's still just as cool. I'm really into this. The art is dope. The story is dope. You can tell Jeff Lemire is pulling from his Animal Man run and all that Rot World shit.
Because he wrote Swamp Thing. He wrote their Frankenstein. Yeah.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! See, I should go back and read that shit.
I read the first issue of the Frankenstein after you did it. The Creature Commandos are in there.
The Frankenstein and the whatever.
Yeah, the Creature Commandos are in there, and they've been like new 52'd up. So they change up some shit. So
Yeah, because like Frankenstein and the army of Frankensteins are in that Rot World story. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I wonder, that my theory now that it's a theory, but James Gunn
it's too awesome of a theory for James Gunn to get right. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying he's doing Swamp Thing, he's doing Creature Commandos.
Eli, you're doing it again. You always writing a better script than what Hollywood is doing.
But it's already there. I'm not writing it.
I know it's there, but they don't see it. That's the thing.
Just saying, he's got Frankenstein. He's got Swamp Thing. He just needs Animal Man.
That's it. Just make Animal Man. You got it. That's it. He's not going to do it.
So this is 5 out of 5. This was dope.
Okay. And I got to read that first Green Hill. I'm going to catch up with this. So yeah. All right. Now it's on me. Okay. Like I said, this is still Black History Month. So I'm still doing nothing but black books. That's all. Black superheroes. That's all I'm doing. And like I said, very conspicuously, there's a lot of black superhero books in February. So what's the deal with that? Why haven't they made these books any other time other than now? Just wondering, but that's too big. That's another time for another place. It scared me. Yeah. We should do that the whole time. Just scare people. Yeah, scare people fuck away from here. Anyway, what book am I doing now? So this is a Milestone book. Milestone's first crossover, that they're doing. Where are we right here? Yes, this is Milestone's first crossover. The name of this crossover is called Worlds Collide, and yes, this is Icon versus Hardware. So now everybody in Milestones exists. Static, Hardware, Icon, they all exist. But in this book, they fight. Why are they fighting?
Oh, damn it.
Because they gotta fight. They gotta fight. That's what they do, But they have a good reason. Yeah, it's a comic book because you want to see them fight, And they actually have a good reason why they fight in this book. So let's just get to it. Let's talk about why they fight. So this is Milestone's first crossover, and this is the beginning of season 2 of Milestone. So let's get to it. All right. So this actually is a big meaty book, but we're not going to talk about everything. It's just to get caught up with Rocket. She is in Switzerland at school, like the highest prestige school in there, and she's going up against a bunch of mean girls getting books like that, but she blows back. We're not going to talk about that. We don't care. Let's move on. What we need to talk about is Hardware. This issue right here is really about Hardware, and he's basically finding out about Rocket and Icon, and he looks at a picture of them, and he realized every single picture he pulls up, their faces are blurred out. So he's like, they must have obviously some futuristic tech that nobody get their hands on. If I get my hands on that tech, then I can blur myself out anyway and make myself invisible to technology. So I need to find him, or get my hands on the tech and find out what to do. So instead of me looking for him, why don't I just Google him and just find out stuff about him? So he Googles him and just finds out stuff about him and finds out how everybody's looking for him, but nobody can find him. And then he goes and he pulls up like a picture back in the 1800s, and he sees a spaceship. And he was like, does that spaceship have something to do with Icon? So that's what he thinks about that. But while he's trying to, doing his research or stuff like that, the people that's looking for him send a missile at his base because they found him, and it blows his base up. So he was like, oh, well, let me just go find out what's going on. Meanwhile, we cut to Icon because it's the only part that Icon has in the book. A kid is on a plane, looking out the window. He covers his eyes because why? Icon is about to have sex with his girlfriend in the sky. She's like an analog to Wonder Woman, basically. I can't remember her name. Xena or some
like
shit.
Storm and like Thunder Roll and shit.
Well, you remember the Dark Knight book
Miller,
where Superman and Wonder Woman banged in the sky, and after they're done, she was like, "I'm pregnant," shit like.
And it created a bunch of thunderstorms across the earth.
It killed, because tsunami killed everybody.
Yeah,
it's basically like that.
I felt the earth move, Clark.
So basically like that. So yeah, he just with his girlfriend, and basically she just like, where's Raquel? She needs to come train with me. And he's like, yeah, I don't trust you like that. Like, how do you don't trust me? We just had sex in space. They're like, yeah, I can have sex in space with you, but that don't mean I trust you. So like that. So anyway, more Raquel dealing with mean girls. Not gonna go to that. We're just gonna talk about So anyway, Hardware finds out. Well, not that he finds out, but he looks it up and he realizes that spaceship that they found back in the 1800s was taken by the Union after the Civil War. And that's the last time anybody heard of that spaceship. So obviously he knows that if nobody hears of that spaceship, it must be in the U.S. Capitol. So he goes to the U.S. Capitol and he knows like an underground passageway to the U.S. Capitol. Because basically, now I don't know if this is true or not, but he's saying that there's like an underground passageway that connects all of the U.S., like the D.C. buildings, like the Capitol and the White House and everything else, like all of it's connected. So he knows the passway to get there. So he goes there, breaks into the place, and he knows that if it's there, it's got to be in here somewhere. So basically, this is like the White House's Area 51, where they all keep all their weird shit. So he uses like his his signature to see if he can find like some. Anyway, he finds a box that's radiating some energy from it. He like, that box is weird. Something's in the box. So he goes there, but while he goes there, he gets attacked by some killer robots. The robots attack him. He blows missiles at them, kills the robots, and before more security comes in there and gets him, he takes the big box, flies out of there, and that's it. So goes to his not this again. We'll pass that. All right, goes to his base, and he's trying to unbox the box, and he unboxes the box, but it is not a spaceship. And he sees a diary written by, and the diary was written by Benjamin Banneker. Now, Benjamin Banneker is a real person. He was back around. He actually helped like survey and help like lay out the land for Washington D.C. He was also a clockmaker. He was also an inventor. He was also all kind of things like that. Look him up, Google him. Awesome. Not gonna get into it. That's your Black History, thing for the month. Anyway, he reads his book, and it turns out his book is on time travel. So Benjamin Banneker, even though he's a real person, they made it up that he invented time travel like back in the 1800s. but he didn't have the technology at the time to do it. So Hardware took a whole week to read his time travel book, and now he knows how to time travel because he has the technology to do it. So he's like, okay, cool. So he time travels, and when he time travels, a rabbit appears out of nowhere. So he takes the rabbit to do a travel experiment, and an hour later, he teleports that rabbit into the past, which is how he got the rabbit in the first place. So that's like a time paradox. So he builds a time machine. Yeah.
Not Get Out. What's the other Jordan? Us.
Yeah. So shit like that. Yeah, right. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because rabbits, experimental pets, stuff like that. So anyway, he takes the time machine that he built and makes a miniature version of it and builds inside his suit, because now his suit can time travel. So he's like, well, I'm gonna just go into time travel, and but before I do that, I'm gonna go back in the past and stop the Big Bang from happening, because everybody died, because too many people died from the Big Bang. He's blamed for the Big Bang. So he's like, if I just stop the Big Bang, my life won't be as shit like it is right now. But before I stop the Big Bang, there's something else I got to do first. So he goes into the past with his time machine, and he goes in 25 years in the past to his house when he was a kid. Because the reason he's there, he wants to know why his dad left and never came back. And the reason his dad left is because his mom found out that his dad not only had an affair, but had an outside baby. So he has a brother he never knew about. When his mother found out about it, she kicked him out and told him never come back. So that's what happened. So this is things that he never knew about, that his dad cheated on his mom, and he has a son, he has a brother he never knew about. So yeah. So he leaves, and he's just like, you know what? I shouldn't do this because I might fuck up the timeline, stuff like that. But I'm going to follow my dad. So he follows his dad, to like a bar, because the dad is drinking and stuff like that. And he just sits down and talks to his dad. Oh, no, before he gets there, he talked to this guy selling weed. And the guy's like, hey, man, you want some shit that'll take you to the moon? He's like, man, look, you selling this stuff on the street, all that's going to happen, you're just going to get arrested. And plus, they're going to legalize this stuff in 30 years anyway. So why don't you just stop doing what you're doing right now and just learn about it? And then when it's legal, then sell it. Because you do it right now, you're just going to get arrested, and they're going to throw your ass in jail, because statistically speaking, black men get higher sentences than other races when it comes to selling when drug possession. So to let you know that. Let's see. So yeah, he just tells him, so stop selling weed, learn about the business of drug pharmaceuticals, that when it's legalized, you can actually make real money on it. So when he tells him that, he just throws the dime bags away and just like, you know what? Yeah. So he saved that guy's life. Meanwhile, he talks to his dad, and he looks at him and goes to him. His dad looks at him like, man, do I know you? You look familiar. He's like, we may have met, once or twice before. But anyway, he tells me, you look like you having girl problems, He was like, what happened? He was like, man, I got into it with my woman. She kicked me out, and I'm just here just drinking my sorrows away. But that's okay, because I'm just leave all this stuff behind me. And that's when he's telling him, man, don't do that, because I'm pretty sure you got a kid at home. I'm just assuming you do. And the same thing happened to my dad when I was younger. My dad left, and I feel like if my dad stayed in my life, I would have been a different person growing up. And if I would have had a chance to change it, I would have changed it. So don't be like me. Be the change of your life, and whatever problems you have with your woman right now, make up for it with your kid. And he's just like, damn, I never thought about it like that. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna go home right now. Whatever it is, we're gonna hash it out. And he's like, cool. And so he teleports out of there, and that's it. So he apparently may or may not have fixed stuff with his dad. He teleports a week before the Big Bang to himself, and he sees himself. He's like, oh, who the hell are you? You're like, I'm you. Prove it. He just tells him, the reason I got in here because I know the combination of your locks. I remember your second grade crush, yada, 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 all the stuff like that. You're like, well, aren't you worried about the butterfly effect? Fuck the butterfly. We got other bigger shit to worry about. So you're like, the Big Bang is happening in a week. They're going to blame you for everything. You need to stop it. So he goes to Alva Industries, where they blamed him for the Big Bang. He takes all the gas canisters he created, and he's about to destroy them so they can't, basically stop the Big Bang. Alva sees him. He's like, what the hell you doing? Curtis, you trying to stop the thing from happening? See, and that's when, who told you that? That's when Hardware shows up. He's like, who the hell are you? He's like, I told them everything's going to happen. And he sees all the weapons and hardware stuff on. Like, he was like, man, y'all shoot this guy. He's like, man, don't shoot in an enclosed area. So they shoot at Hardware. The bullets bounce off automatically, and they shoot Alva in the head because the bullets bounce off his head. So now Alva's dead. So you're like, well, that's done. So he just teleports out of there, and he teleports back to the regular time. So what happens? Apparently, okay, so the
Kang has conquered. No.
right. So the thing is, so he stopped the Big Bang. The Big Bang never happened. However, worse shit happened. So now there's superpower soldiers all over the planet taking over. How they got here, we don't know. Meanwhile, since the head CEO of Alpha Industry died, and he was next in line, and he wasn't responsible for the Big Bang, he took over the company. So he's now the head CEO of the biggest tech company on the planet. While everybody's dying all over the place. Meanwhile, Icon knocks on his window just like, Curtis, we need to talk. To be continued.
So he hasn't. This is. Oh, Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the story. That's part one of the story. So yeah, like I said, Icon is barely in this book.
I was about to say, yeah. Is it still, is this called an icon? Isn't it Icon?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Icon versus, but it's more like it's a multiversal time travel story. So that's what it's about, you know.
Okay.
So yeah. So overall, strong opening. Like I said, I was loving the Icon series before. Reggie Hudlin wrote this.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
wasn't digging the hardware story, but like I said, Reggie Hudlin wasn't writing that. He's writing it now. So I was actually digging this hardware story because that's all it was. But hardware time traveling.
Yeah,
Kooky,
and that's what
cool,
it seemed
but-
like. The Reggie Hudlin on, because he wrote the Icon and Rocket. I was into
Right.
that one.
Yeah, he wrote that. So yeah.
I wasn't really into the,
Yeah, because
Blood
somebody else
Syn-
was writing hardware. Honestly, I
and
fell off on the hardware thing.
and then Blood Syndicate. They brought back Blood Syndicate, which I fell off of, and I was so excited for that. And then
right, it had too many moving pieces on Blood Syndicate.
Yeah. that's too bad. Yeah, I might read this then.
Yeah, this is awesome. I do recommend this. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 because it was a lot of heavy setup. I wish it was more Icon in there because it really wasn't Icon. Honestly, Icon was even in this book. It was really Rocket, but Rocket wasn't doing anything. She was just doing like Mean Girl high school shit, and I didn't feel like
I
we're
said
doing it.
Icon's from another planet, ain't he?
Yeah,
So the
I
Big
forgot the name
Bang
of the
don't.
planet, but yeah.
The Big Bang don't.
Yeah, the Big Bang doesn't affect
Yeah,
him.
it doesn't
Or
affect
Rocket
him.
anyway. Yeah. So he was already what it was anyway, but other shit got fucked up. So yeah. So yeah, so what you got?
Well, my last book, I only got one.
Make it count. Yeah.
All right. This is this is free. So hey, that's pretty cool, right? Free on Comixology. If you have subscription to Comixology, this is included free. All the Archie books are free. So this is an Archie book. This is Betty the Final Girl one shot. It's just a one shot. This is the part of that whole Archie horror line. You know, they've been doing these horror comics with Archie, Jughead the Hunger, Vampironica, or Afterlife with Archie. You know, Blossom 666 or whatever, where they're witches and shit. Sabrina, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. That's where the show came from. Was those Sabrina comics are fucking awesome and way more, creepier and bloodier and gorier than the TV show is.
Yeah, I know like people wanted to have the Netflix show banned because they thought it was satanic or some shit.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, they go way harder. The comics go way harder. But this is just a one shot. It's an ode to slasher movies. This is Betty the Final Girl. And it's kind of like an anthology. Betty is babysitting Veronica's cousin or somebody in Veronica's family's big giant mansion cabin. And they're watching movies. Veronica steps out to go get some munchies. She runs to the store. So Betty's just watching this kid. The kid goes to sleep and Betty watches these horror movies. The first one, and that's what it is. So it's like an anthology. The first movie she watches is kind of like a parody of Scream involving Bridget Riley. She's a Riverdale character where she's being stalked by a mass killer and she ends up killing him. That was the next movie she watches is another kind of a parody of the movie You're Next, which is a more recent slasher movie involving mass killers in animal masks. And Josie and the Pussycats, they're playing a show. They're playing like a Halloween.
Which also came from Archie, and I have all the cartoons.
Yeah. There's a Valentine's Day dance, and people start getting picked off by these masked killers in animal masks, and the drummer. What's the drummer's name again? Melody, the drummer. She ends up taking them out. This was probably my favorite one. There she goes. She, baseball batted these killers and shit. The last one was a kind of about a reference to When a Stranger Calls, where Betty is babysitting and she keeps getting texts, "Have you checked the children?" And then she gets stalked by this like creepy killer with an antler mask and shit and all that. So it is. It's just like just making references to slasher movies. I think it was okay. There's some gore as you can see. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like anthology books, because it's just like short 10 pagers. You know what I mean? I wish it was like a whole issue, kind of like Jughead the Hunger was. You know what I mean? Like a whole series. It would have been cool to see a whole series. But yeah, it was all right. 3 out of 5. It's and all these stories were Valentine's Day themed stories. Kind of disappointed they didn't reference My Bloody Valentine, which is one of my all-time favorite slasher movies. Harry Warden, I think, is just as big as a slasher icon as Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, Chucky. Yeah, but sadly, they did not reference a Harry Warden running around with a pickaxe, cutting out people's hearts.
Especially for a Valentine's episode, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It was fun, and it was free, so can't complain. It was free. So yeah, and that's it. That's all I read this week.
Cool.
Comics, anyways. I was reading a novel. I was all weekend. I was reading a book without pictures.
Real books.
Yeah.
Literature. Real
Prose.
literature.
I was reading prose, yes.
Not this funny book shit.
Yeah, not the funny pages.
All right. So I was going to do another book, but I'm just cut that book because honestly, I don't really give a shit. I was going to do like Monica Rambeau, but I think I did enough black books for the time being. So
we only did one, right? How many?
But it was 2 black people in it, so technically it counts as 2 books. So I'm counting. Double the blackness, but yeah. So I'm gonna do my retro book. My retro book, I feel like I'm cheating because it's kind of like a black book, but not a black book because it's about Kang the Conqueror. Even though
Egyptian, but they made him white.
Yes, that's what the book is about. Let me see if I get to it. The reason I'm doing
the white pharaoh.
The white, yes, he's a white pharaoh on this, but I'm gonna explain it. Because, like I said, at the end of the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, when they show the Council of Kangs and everything like that, now they show all the main Kangs there also. They show Immortus and they show Jonathan Majors dressed up as an Egyptian pharaoh, and a lot of people was like confused, like, what the fuck is that? Well, the thing is, that's a reference to the comics. That's a reference to the comics. Ramatut. That's who he is. So Ramatut actually debuted before Kang the Conqueror. So he's actually the very first version of Kang the Conqueror, for anybody that knows that. So that's what it is. So he's actually Ramatut first, went to Egypt, conquered Egypt, and that's when he got his taste for conquering. And he went back to the 31st century and then took that over. And then that's where he went all the multiverse and blah, 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 and all stuff like that. So that's your thing right there. So just to make this simple, I'm going to do the very first appearance of Kang, even though it's not Kang. It's a Kang, but not that Kang. So
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. He debuted not as Avengers, even though he's the main Avengers threat. He debuted in Fantastic Four. So Kang debuted in Avengers, but Ramatut debuted in Fantastic Four, but they're the same guy.
Everybody debuted in Fantastic Four.
Everybody debuted in Fantastic Four. That's the thing. That was Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's baby. Fantastic Four was their baby. So it was pretty much just a launch pad for the Marvel Universe. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's what he did there. So let's get to it. So what do we got to talk about? So we're going to talk about Ramatut, the first Kang. And then when I'm done with this issue, you will realize why I hate Kang. So yeah. Let's get to it.
But he was like hanging out with dinosaurs.
I know, man. It was annoying as fuck. So basically, they give you this stinger issue where you open the book up and you see a pharaoh holding a gun at the Fantastic Four. You're like, wait, what? The fuck is that? They'll get into it. So basically, cut to it. Basically, what the story of this book is that Reed Richards think he has found the cure for blindness. And if you don't know, the Thing's girlfriend,
Things,
Alicia Masters,
Things,
she's blind. So he's thinking, I think I found a cure for blindness. I'm gonna kill your girlfriend. And things like, okay, you're talking out your ass. How did you find a cure for blindness? Okay, well, I don't know the cure for blindness, but when we went to an Egyptian museum one time, I looked at the hieroglyphics and I realized there was this pharaoh that was blind, and he turned around, had this cosmic rod, and he can see again. So there's a pharaoh back in long time history that's unrecorded that nobody knows about that cured blindness. So back then, there's a way to find out. It's like, so how do we find
Stan
the cure?
Lee, you fucking genius.
That's one thing you got to understand. When you start reading Fantastic Four books, you will realize one thing. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby was on some good ass drugs, because these books are bonkers, you know. So the thing is like, so, okay, so yeah, there's a cure for blindness back in ancient Egyptian time that we don't know about. So how the hell can we get back there? He's like, that's easy. It's easy because when we fought Dr. Doom, this at the time, this is Dr. Doom was like a fresh villain. So Dr. Doom had a time machine. The very first time he fought up, he had a time machine. So even though we ran Dr. Doom off, his time machine is still in Latveria. So we could just take his time machine, go back and fast of Egypt, and fight a cure for blindness. You're like, well, that's easy. Let's go. You know, so they fly to Latveria, they go to Doom's castle, they find his time machine, they tell Alicia to work the time machine. You know? Yeah. So she works the time
See
machine.
this button? No, you can't. Anyway, put your hand here.
So they go there. So they rig a time machine up where they got 24 hours. After 24 hours, they're going to automatically come back to this time anyway. So they got 24 hours to find the cure for blindness in ancient Egypt. So they go there and they find the Sphinx. They go back in the time, and the Sphinx hasn't been defaced yet. Because remember, like the Europeans came there, first thing they did is deface the Sphinx, but they find it's fresh there. So like, okay, cool. So while they're there, they get attacked by the ancient Egyptians, and they get attacked. Of course, they're all white. Because
they're all white.
yeah. So they get attacked. They run in the thing just standing there like, what the fuck y'all doing? So the Fantastic Four just beat the hell out these guys. There's nothing there because the Fantastic Four, you know. Meanwhile, something happens and they all just lose their powers and they just faint. But they don't know why they're losing their powers. So when they wake up the next morning or the next, you know, in a few hours, they wake up in front of this Egyptian pharaoh.
They lose their powers and Ben is still a rock.
Well, he's weak, but he's a rock. You know, it's confusing.
God damn, he just gets fucking fucked all the time.
Right. So he's still ugly and big as fuck, but can't do shit. So
and then his woman's gonna be able to see his ugly ass after.
Right. Like maybe she should stay blind, you know. All right. So they run into the pharaoh that rules this whole land, Ramatut. So this is Ramatut. This is Kang the Conqueror before he's Kang the Conqueror. So yeah. So he's there and he's just like, oh, the Fantastic Four. It's like, the fuck? You're an Egyptian pharaoh. How the hell do you know we're the Fantastic Four? And why the hell are you speaking English? You know, because English doesn't exist yet. You're like, oh, that's a good question. And plus, how did you make us lose our powers? You're like, easy, with this gun. He pulls out a gun. It's a gun from the 30th century, and apparently it has the powers to rob the Fantastic Four of their powers. He basically gives the whole backstory. He's from the 30th century. There's no crime, no pollution, everything's safe. So he got bored there. It's boring there. Meanwhile, he watches old kind of TV, like the Ancient West, stuff like that, and he watches the Fantastic Four on TV. So that's how he knows about the Fantastic Four, because to him, it's like old-timey TV, you know. So he gets bored, and he decides to go to a museum, and he finds one of his ancestors' blueprint for a time machine. Pay attention to what I said. His ancestors' blueprint. Mm-hmm. Who do we already know that knows how to make a time machine? Mm-hmm. Dr. Doom. So, yeah, it comes full circle.
Well, they're always teaming up, you know.
They're always teaming up because they think they may be related, you know. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Kang is using Dr. Doom's time machine, and that's how he learns how to time travel. So yeah, so he builds a time machine that looks like a weird creature, so that when it goes there, he knows they will think they know to worship it. And the time machine he builds is the Sphinx. Ah, yeah. So he time travels in the Sphinx and he crashes it there. When he gets there, of course, they see the Sphinx and they start worshiping and thinking it's a god and stuff like that. But the crash so hard, he blinds himself. But later on, he has the technology to blind, you know, to cure his blindness, stuff like that. So it's cool. So they try to stop him, but then he blasts him again and he takes the Fantastic Four hostage. Everybody except Sue Storm, because just like every other Fantastic Four villain, he fell in love with Sue Storm because you know. So anyway, they do his bidding.
Blonde hair. Damn, that's hot.
Right. He's a court justice, so he's just doing that. He dresses up, you know, Sue Storm like Cleopatra, you know, whatever, you know. But now Thing transforms back into a human. Why?
Okay.
Because around this time in the 60s, he just randomly changed back into a human, but then would always change back also. He could control it. It just happened. But the thing is, he transformed back, so that means he can slip out of his handcuffs. He's no longer on mind control status, and he just fights his way through, you know, through Thing. So anyway, he swims back there, finds and meanwhile he's in love with Sue Storm and makes Human Torch do tricks and shit like that. And Ben Grimm sneaks in, takes his weapon, his ray gun, blasts Sue Storm to free her first. When he frees her, and he turns back into Ben Grimm because he just does, you know. She frees Johnny Storm. They go free Reed Richards, and Rama Tut realizes, oh, the Fantastic Four are back. I need to get the fuck up out of here. So he runs, and he runs back to the Sphinx because that's where his time travel machine. Because he's about to, you know, get out of here and go back to the future. You know, they go to him, find him, trying to see if I can get there. Yeah, they free Reed Richards. There's a little tunnel under the Sphinx that they go there. So when they finally get there, they find Rama Tut. He basically gets out of there, you know. He gets out of there, he teleports, and any kind of device that's in there, that's in the Sphinx, he blows up. So the Sphinx is just like this big dummy statue now, no longer like a time machine. It's just there. And he just leaves it there. So the Sphinx is his. Oh, and they find the cure for blindness in the Sphinx. So they find what they're looking for. Rama Tut gets away, goes back to the 30th century. Alicia actually time machine, they go back to the regular time. But here's the thing, the way Doom time machine works, they can't take anything back from them from the past.
Damn it.
So it was a waste of fucking time the whole time. So they're back in the present. They didn't find a cure for blindness. The end. So yeah, that's the story.
And Alicia just chilling there the whole time.
Yeah, she's just chilling the whole time.
No Doom bots. And Doom didn't find her.
Yeah, she just in Doom Castle. Nobody does anything. You know, she's just there. You know. So yeah, it's another wacky Stan Lee, Jack Kirby story. I did this. Technically, it counts as a Black History story. You know, Black History story, even though he's not, but he is, but he should be, but he's not, or whatever. Yeah. So, Rama Tut, there you go. So
why don't you like Kang?
Because of this bullshit. Because, okay, this book, he's Rama Tut. Next book, he's Immortus. Next book, he's Silver Centurion. Next book, he's Mr. Timely. Next chick, he's a blonde chick with big titties. What the fuck, man? So every time you turn around, Kang is another person or thing or whatever like that. So it gets too confusing all the time. The thing that really pissed me off when Thor beat him to death with Mjolnir. And then 5 seconds later, he popped up in a time portal. He's like, hey, you killed me, Thor. I'm going to get revenge on you. And then just leaves. I'm like, so that's what you got. That's what you have to waiting for.
So it's like was it the first Bill and Ted's movie where they kept, remember to leave car keys right here.
Right.
There they are.
Right. He does weird shit like that. So that's the thing Kang has. So yeah. So I'm sick of it, man. All this time travel Kang shit. Like, it's fun now. But when they really start getting to this shit, y'all are gonna hate Kang. I'm warning you now. So
not if he takes his shirt off.
Not if he takes his shirt off or becomes a blonde with big titties, whatever, you know, just
titties.
Exactly. This is what Kang gonna look like in Kang Dynasty. So yeah. All right. So I'm booked out. I'm not doing any more books. Yeah. I'm done. All right. Yeah. Like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. Like I said, even if you just listen or watch this long, we thank you. You have helped us out. But if you do like us, leave a comment, share, you know, spread the wealth, you know. Yes. Eli, even though I didn't give a shit whether or not you looked at Ant-Man and like that, I am going to give you an assignment this week.
Hey, damn it.
Okay. But don't worry. You're going to like this assignment. Megan comes out this week on Peacock.
Oh, no shit.
See, I knew you were like, I knew you were like it. Yeah.
I have not seen it yet.
You have not seen it. I have not seen it either.
Okay.
Next week we'll review Megan.
Whole show. The whole show. 2.5 hours. Gonna go deep into Megan. That sounds dirty.
That sounds dirty. Just like that, we got banned. Another 90-day ban. Okay. We didn't mean it, YouTube. Yeah. All right. But yeah, so basically check out next week. We would do it, and I would do another Black book. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'll do Black Goliath next week. I think I'll do that. Yeah. Yeah. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
Recruiting suckers, macking, micing, making men of them. Tears and fears for my peers, they risen. You think that it is, if not it isn't. Race for the border, my daughter cause beats are banging out. Cheeks rocking beats in the streets and it's time for hanging out. Gather, or rather form a circle right out loud. Just cause brothers or others could never ever rock a crowd. Is it because he's running off with the mouth? Or was he really clearly trying to play a nigga out? No, shut him down, the king with the crown. Cause all you wanna be is Dickie down. Ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhyme, so I said this rhyme I'm about to say. The rhyme was Mecca and then it went this way. Recollect a Mecca mic check on a windmill skill, map the stacks wearing Godfather hats. It's okay to parlay the forte better. Tell her my nigga need a sweater tougher than leather. Swing another Rodney King thing and I wreck, but just like the white one I get no respect. Money stay awake cause the other niggas are fake. From Hollis to the Beacon, know your dumb ass is leaking. CL and Run DMC, so rush it. Big time way before Hammer got to touch it. Remember the faces in all types of places. Look, ma, no shoelaces. And I'm you wanna be? 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 Check it. I'm taking the tours, I'm wrecking the land. I keep it hardcore cause it's dope, man. These are the roughest, toughest words I ever wrote down. Not meant for a hole like a slow jam, check it. Sucker MCs could never swing with D because of all the things that I bring with me. Only G.O.D. could be a king to me. And if the G.O.D. be in me, then a king I be. The microphone is granted when it's handed to me. I was planted on this planet and I plan to MC. The MC fiends only seem to agree that I rock the world and the society. Outrageous on the stages with a tuna verse. I give praises from these pages to the universe. My voice is raw, my lyrics is law. I keep it hardcore like you never saw you wanna be. You wanna be. You know you wanna be. You wanna be. You know you wanna be.
I'm the man you see in the place to be. I went to John Jay University, and since kindergarten I acquired the knowledge. And after 12th grade I went straight to college. Down with the kings on the mic, a full swinger. The P to the R, not an R&B singer. The R to the UNDMC, and the fly human beings. Tonight I hold the key. Flowing with the funk track, hit a soul brother black. Pick up the pace, better yet leave the space. So let me put my big black Twinkie on into the early morning. Had the skins yawning. Mecca, yo, you want the Mecca, yo? I make a funky beat so we can blow, check it out. Pete rocks the boot knock, put you in a headlock, and now all the yada yada flock, cause I'm down with the things.